According to a recent report by the Washington Post, Donald Trump, as has been pretty obvious, been in a bad mood for the last few months, really. In fact, he's not just been in a cranky mood, he's been a little depressed, according to people inside the White House. So all the way back in April, back when we were in the really early days of this pandemic, everything had just shut down. The economy was tanking, stock market was going down the toilet, and Trump was sad about that. So White House advisors, Hope Hicks and Dan Scavino, came up with an idea to cheer up the president. After all, nobody wants to work for a guy who is walking around moping and depressed and angry all day, right? You want to cheer up your boss. You want to make him feel good. You want to make him feel like people actually care. So Hope Hicks and Dan Scavino came up with a plan to, hey, if we want to make him happy, why don't we just bring in some big trucks for him to play with here at the White House? So on April 16th, they brought in a fleet of 18-wheelers as part of their trucker appreciation event. So Donald Trump could, walk around the trucks, get up in the cabs, sit there pretending like he was driving like he did with the trucks that had come to the White House previously, because apparently this is how you cheer up Donald Trump. He's in a bad mood, you let him go sit in a big truck. He's not happy, you let him play with a semi. He's in a bad mood, you let him get up in a UPS truck and act like he's driving. That's what he wants to do. And we know that because that is what little kids like to do too. Right? People who haven't really passed the developmental stage of, 4 to 8 years old-ish, somewhere in that range probably. And I say that because at the daycare my son goes to or went to prior to the pandemic, every couple of months the fire truck would come and the kids would get to go and they get to climb all over the fire truck and they get to sit in the cab and they get to sit behind the wheel and pretend like they're driving. They got pictures of them. It was a great event. The kids loved it because that's what little tiny kids love. But apparently Trump does too. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want a president who gets calmed down the same way that you would calm down an adolescent or a toddler even. I want somebody who's a little bit more mature than that. I want somebody who actually knows how to handle their own emotions. It doesn't have to rely on other people coming up with ideas to bring in outside forces to help you be able to regulate a little better. I would think the president, and I would think the people, would want the president to have a little bit more self-control and self-awareness, right? You're supposed to be better than the rest of us. You really and truly are. I know it hasn't been that way, at least in my lifetime, but in theory, the president's supposed to be the best. I don't know that the president ever has been throughout American history, but again, that was the idea, that the people got to choose somebody who was better than the rest of them, somebody to extol the virtues that we all wished we had. But instead, we have a giant man-child who throws tantrums constantly and can only be cheered up if they bring in some super big trucks to the White House for him to play with. One of today's video sponsors is Vincero Watches. And right now they have a very special offer for all of our Ring of Fire viewers. Go to vincerowatches.com/ROF and get 15% off your entire order at Vincero Watches. Now these are fine watches for both men and women, but at affordable prices. They also have wallets, money clips, all kinds of accessories to help you make a statement with your outfit. One of the watches that I have here with me today is the Chrono S. And this, I've gone through the website, this is my absolute favorite out of all the watches there. And one of the things that struck me when I received this and opened it up was just immediately how gorgeous this watch looks. You can see it in action on me as well there. This watch is absolutely gorgeous. It is a phenomenal timepiece at an affordable price, under $200 for this gorgeous watch. Watches make statements about your outfit and who you are. So let Vincero Watches make that statement for you. Go to vincerowatches.com/ROF for 15% off your entire order today.